Now, let me show you how wicked your prophet is, because you said he didn't make any mistakes. Go to 33:37 of the Quran. Chapter 33, verse 37.
Okay. So this is 33:7.
33, verse 37. Verse 37.
Yeah, that's right. So, and remember when we took a covenant from the prophets?
No, 33, verse 37. You keep reading 7.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so this the case of Zayd. And remember, O Prophet, when you said to the one for whom God has done a favor, and you too have done a favor, keep your wife and fear God, while concealing within yourself what God was going to reveal. And so you were considering the people, whereas God was more worthy of your consideration. So when Zayd totally lost interest in keeping his wife, we gave her to you in marriage, so that there would be no blame on the believers for marrying the ex-wives of their adopted sons after their divorce. And God's command is totally binding.
Now, please convince us you're okay with your prophet marrying his adopted son's wife, who for a season was his daughter-in-law. Let me give you an example what I mean. You're my adopted son. You got married. You divorce her, and then I marry her, and she becomes your stepmother. So you're okay now with your ex-wife being your stepmother, a woman that you saw naked and slept with, who's now sleeping with your dad, who's now your mother. You're okay with that?
Can I say something?
Yes.
I want to say that, like in the time of like the 7th century, in the time of the Prophet, and at in Arabia itself, they had different traditions and cultures. Like you can't impose you're going to
embarrass yourself with that argument, right, James?
I wouldn't do what you just described right there, but
James, you're going to embarrass yourself by saying that, because your prophet is supposed to be an example for all generations, not just the 7th century. And didn't your prophet destroy certain customs that people observed because they were bad?
Yes, he did.
Oh, but he kept this custom that was evil. How convenient. So let me ask you the question again. Would you be okay with your adoptive father taking your divorced wife and marrying her, a woman that you had naked in bed and was having sex with, who's now your mother, and you have to honor as your mother?
No, that's not okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't do anything like that. But
okay, but no, hold on. Did your prophet then abolish adoption after he married his daughter-in-law?
I believe adoption is abolished.
Oh, and you have no problem. So now help us understand your logic. Your prophet married his adopted son's wife to be an example for other people, so they can marry their adopted son's wives when they're divorced. But then shortly after that, he then abolished adoption. Didn't Allah know he was going to abolish adoption?
I'm sorry, but did he abolish adoption? Or
yeah, he did. Allah abolished it according to you. So your God, who's not the God revealed in Jesus, because the God revealed in Jesus doesn't abolish adoption, he adopts children. But your God that you decided to follow abolished adoption. And you're okay with that? So this humane practice of adoption, Allah got rid of, but marrying your adopted son's divorced wife, he was okay with it. So something immoral he was okay with, but something humane he abolished. Yeah, you make sense, James. I'm ready to take Shahada.
Yeah, so adoption is abolished, but that doesn't mean that Muslims can't take in like stray children into their families.
You can't, when they're old enough, you can't have them in your house because of your women folk cannot freely mix with those who are not forbidden for them. Don't let me bring up breastfeeding as an example, where Muhammad had a woman suckle a grown man with her tit because he had abolished adoption, and her husband is now uncomfortable with him in the house because there was nothing forbidding him from lusting for his wife. So Muhammad said, let him suck your tit and now he'll be your foster son. You don't want to open that can of worms, do you? So let me ask the question again, because you went far afield. Didn't your God Allah know that he was going to abolish adoption right after Muhammad was going to marry Zayd's wife?
I don't understand. He did abolish adoption.
No, you're not. No, he didn't abolish it when your prophet married her. 33:37 just told you The reason
Yeah,
why
that's
he
right.
married her was to be an example for other people to marry their adopted sons' wives. Did you just read 33, 37? Read it. It's right there.
Okay, so we gave her to you in marriage so that there would be no blame on the believers for marrying the ex-wives of
Of
their
what?
adopted sons.
Okay, so at that time when your prophet did it, adoption was still allowed, right?
Yes.
So, but didn't your God Allah know that he was then going to abolish adoption?
Yes, God
So
knows
why
everything,
did he
and
allow Muhammad marry his adopted son's wife when he knew he was going to abolish adoption? So that this example, Muhammad, is meaningless because it can't be an example for anyone anymore. There's no more adoption.
yeah, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like throughout the Quran, like there are many revelations that it's not to say like they're not relevant anymore, but they get like superseded by like better revelations from God.
You mean it's
And
better to abolish adoption, a humane practice, but it was not as good to then lust for your adopted son's wife, who then ended up divorcing her so you can marry her. So now it's better to abolish adoption? That's better to get rid of adoption. That's better. I want you to say it again. Getting rid of adoption, robbing children of having a father or a mother that they can look to because Allah abolished adoption. That's better? Please say it's better. Yes, my God did what was better. He abolished adoption, leaving hundreds of thousands of orphans without the opportunity to be adopted and call anyone mommy and daddy, or barren parents, women who can't have children, robbing them of the opportunity of adopting a child and calling that child son or daughter, because that's better, much better what your God did. Can you say that, please? I want to hear it. I want it recorded. Now go to Romans chapter 8 to show you the true God buries your God, because your God is not the true God. Open up your Bible. You have your Bible?
Yeah, I do, but I don't believe in the Bible.
Well, your prophet did, so that means you're better than your prophet. So go to Romans chapter 8.
Okay, sure.
And I'm going to show you how Jesus now buries your God and prophet as adulterers and murderers. The very Bible that you're afraid of. But go to Romans 8. Read 14 to 17.
Romans was written by Paul, not Jesus.
Okay, and the Quran was written by Muhammad, not Jesus. And you still believe what Muhammad says about Jesus?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, wait, say it again. So yes, I believe what Muhammad, who came 600 years later, tells me about Jesus in Arabic, a language Jesus didn't speak. But Paul, who met the eyewitnesses of Jesus, I don't trust them. You see how stupid you sound, James?
But there are things in the Bible that you can't fully trust, like.
Oh, you mean like your prophet? Your prophet telling you can marry a minor who hasn't puberty, that you can trust. Your prophet marrying his adopted son's divorced wife, that you can trust. Your prophet abolishing adoption, that you can trust. Your prophet saying take married captive women and rape them, that you can trust, but we can't trust Paul. You make sense, man. I'm ready to go to the mosque, take shahada. Go to Romans 8, read verses 14 to 17.
Okay, sure. It's this is Romans 8:14.
Yeah, verse 14 to 17.
Okay, so for those who are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. The Spirit you receive does not make you slaves, so that you live in fear again.
Slowly.
Rather, the Spirit. Okay.
Keep going.
The Spirit you receive does not make you slaves, so that you live in fear again. Rather, the Spirit you received brought about your adoption.
What did it do? It brought about what?
But this is talking
about calm down.
Sense.
Don't be afraid. I know the Bible scares you because the demons that are controlling you, but may Jesus set you free. So the God that spoke to Paul loves adopting children. Your God hates adoption and abolished it. So is Allah your father? Is Allah your father?
Allah is not. God is not a father, but this.
But Jesus says God is the father. Wait. Jesus said God is the Father. So are you sure your Allah is the God revealed in Jesus?
Jesus never said that in the Quran.
And that's why we don't believe your Quran. It's trash because it lies about what Jesus said.
Okay, but this passage right here,
yes.
from from Paul, it's talking about adoption in a spiritual sense. You know.
Yes, but there is no adoption spiritually or legally in Islam. You can't be adopted as a son of Allah, and you can't adopt a child legally. So your Quran destroys adoption spiritually and legally. What don't you get? What don't you get? So I want you to say in front of everyone, Allah is my father, and he adopted me as a son, and Muhammad is the son of Allah spiritually. Say that. I want to record you. Say it.
No, I can't say that.
Okay, now you just said that Muhammad is of the devil because he's not from the same God that Jesus proclaimed. Let's put Paul aside.
I never said that.
No, I'm saying that's what you're saying without you realizing it.